Okay guys, we're on to our worksheet 3 part. So we can see we've got material is going to be copper. Our mass is we're aiming for this, and we can see the pictorial view is quite helpful to help visualize what's happening here. So we can see we've got quite a bit of detail on that top view. There's probably the end view is not going to be much use for us in us developing now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with the front view. We're going to get that main shape drawn out, and then we're going to add the detail to the top view and then cut that away. And notice that this is a full symmetric shape. So we're just going to draw half of that and make our life a little bit easier as we go. So let's go and create that document. Worksheet 3, still in my folder. It's really helpful to organize things as you go through. So I'm in my drawing. We're going to start with that front view. So if we have a look, the shortcut is Shift S on the front view, type N to go normal. And I'm going to start, we can see we've got 110 as the full width and 60 high. So I'm going to start with my rectangle, shortcut is G, and I'm going to again just take that from the center so it locks it in. That was 120 and 60, 110 and 60. So easy to double click and adjust that. So I've got my right shape, and then I've got that angled line, 20 up and 60 in. So I'm going to grab my line, drop that somewhere, hit D as my shortcut. So that's going 20 there, and then 60 from there. So he's now fully defined, and I'm going to finish that, hit my extrude, and how deep does that need to go? I am going 70 deep. So change that depth to 70 and enter. So now I've got my shape. Now if I wanted to actually change the appearance, I could. So what did we say this is going to be? This is going to be copper. So let's get a little bit of a coppery sort of look for it for the moment. Again, doesn't change anything other than how it looks. We could do that material now while we're here as well. So if we search for copper, there it is. We're just going to go standard copper and tick. So that's ready to go once we've finished getting our shape. So let's have a look. I need to go on the top view now. So this is the same thing. Make sure we don't select that to create our sketch. We want to be able to, so Shift E, either choose that top plane, or I could actually go the top plane instead of just that face there as well. Type N to go normal too, and now I'm ready to start adding my detail. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add that line. So I'm going to hit Q as the shortcut, you can see for my construction, and I can get that midpoint and take that through. So going to there is fine. I can use that for the whole thing. So from here, I want to be able to go. So if you can't do the maths in your head, I can just go to there. I know that's to there. I've got all the way to the corner, and then up a little bit, in, and then in line with that. And notice how some of those lines already had those. So horizontal, coincident, so I can move those around, but some of those lines, but we can see that one missed out. So I want to go I, so he goes in line with that one, and that gets fixed in there. So now we've got that, let's start defining our shape a little bit. So if we have a look, I've got 30 across here, 20 in, so let's go dimension dimension. We know that there to there is 20. And now you can see we've got 140 there as well. So let's go from that one to that one, 140 degrees. And, okay, so see how he has gone and he's not happy with that? Because we went to the midpoint here, I'm going to delete that. So the things that are in conflict is what shows there. So if I remove that, he should be happy. There it is. So he was trying to sit on the midpoint of that line there because of where I dragged it. So sometimes you just need to investigate a little bit to make sure you've got what you need to. And what I should find is that line is 15 already, so I just needed that one dimension, which is great. If we keep going from there, we've got 10 in, 10 in, 10 in. Now, this guy here is actually going to be half dimension there, isn't he? So he's going to be 5. I've got this one here is going to be 10. And then that guy there is going to be 10. All right. The last thing I've got is I can see that that is 25 from that point to that point. So now I've got the shape that I need there. What I'm going to do now is mirror that. So choose my mirror line, and I'm going to go through and pick all sides, which then should allow me to get that whole face. I'm going to extrude that. And what I might need to do, and you notice I've got a problem here, I want to be able to select that bit to cut away and those bits to cut away. So those two are okay, I can select those. What that means is I need to go back into that sketch and I need to add one more line. So I've got that one there ready to go. So now when I go Shift E or extrude, I can select the bits that I want, but I want to be able to remove those. And you can see they've cut through somewhere. And again, I'm going to go, you go up to next, which will then take those, but because that's not touching, that won't work. I could go up to face, which then I can select that face, so they all cut down to there, or I could use that through all as well. So there's a few options that we have on how we do the same process. Now I'm just going to hide these out for the moment. So now I've got my shape. Let's see how I went with that. So 2.998, 2.997712. I think that is pretty good, 0.3 of a gram. So hopefully you got the same for yours. So that is now worksheet 3 complete.